You're not stuck because of your job, your trauma, your parents, or the world. You're stuck because of something far more dangerous. A single thought that keeps repeating. And the worst part? You probably don't even know it's there. But what if I told you that thought is not a truth, but a decision? And decisions can be changed, right now. Welcome to WiseReads Hub, the place where wisdom becomes your weapon. Today, we explore A Changed Mind by David Bayer, a book that isn't about motivation. It's about transformation. It's not about doing more. It's about thinking differently. You're about to learn why you've felt stuck your whole life and how to finally break free. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, your mind won't just be changed, it will be rewired. Chapter 1. Suffering isn't caused by life. Let's get this straight. Suffering isn't caused by your boss. It's not caused by your bank account. It's not caused by your partner, your parents, or your past. All suffering is internal. That's the first hard truth David Bayer lays down. But let's not sugarcoat this. The day you're told you are the cause of your own suffering doesn't feel liberating at first. It feels like a slap in the face. It's easier to blame the outside world. It always is. But here's where things get exciting. Because if you caused your suffering, that also means you can end it. For example, imagine two people lose their jobs on the same day. One spirals into depression. The other launches their dream business. What's the difference? It's not the event. It's the meaning they gave it. Bayer says it best. Human beings are meaning-making machines. We don't react to events. We react to the stories we tell about those events. So your stress, your anxiety, it's not about life. It's about how you've trained yourself to interpret life. Let's do a quick self-check. Answer yes or no in your head. Do you overthink things constantly? Do you fear failure before even starting? Do you ever feel like no matter how hard you try, you can't get it right? If you said yes to any of those, congratulations. You're running on old programming. Chapter 2. The Origin of Your Program. So, where does this programming come from? Your childhood. By the age of 7, your brain has absorbed quadrillions of neural connections. Not all of them helpful. Watching your parents argue, seeing fear in their eyes, being punished for speaking up, it all gets stored. David Bayer calls this the origin of the inner conflict. Here's the formula. Early experience, belief, identity, reality. Let's say you grew up hearing, money doesn't grow on trees. Be quiet. That's not how you do it. Now fast forward 20 years. You're afraid to ask for a raise. You self-sabotage opportunities. You don't feel ready. Not because you're lazy or weak, but because your mind is still operating on beliefs installed decades ago. For example, you're in a car, but there's no steering wheel. You want to go forward, but something keeps pulling you back. That's what unconscious beliefs are. They're invisible hands controlling your direction. You can want success, but believe it's dangerous. You can want love, but believe you're unworthy. That internal contradiction creates resistance. The harder you try to push forward, the more stuck you feel. It's not a motivation problem, it's a misalignment problem. The truth about self-sabotage. Have you ever missed a deadline on purpose? Ghosted someone who believed in you? Forgot to follow up on a major opportunity? That's not bad luck. That's internal sabotage. And it always traces back to a belief that says, you don't deserve this. This is too hard. You're going to fail anyway. You don't have a willpower problem. You have a belief problem. And that's good news, because beliefs can be changed. Now that we know what's holding us back, what's the way out? Is it positive thinking? Nope. Is it hustling harder? Not even close. The escape plan doesn't start with what you do. It starts with what you believe. Chapter 3. The Self-Fulfilling Prophecy Cycle. You've heard it before. Your thoughts create your reality. But Bayer doesn't just say it. He shows you the exact step-by-step formula behind it. Introducing the 5 primary drivers. Here's how they work. Beliefs, thoughts, feelings, actions, results. And then, the loop repeats. Because your results reinforce your beliefs, let's break it down with a story. Imagine you grew up believing, I'm not good enough. That belief triggers thoughts like, they won't hire me, I'm not ready, why even try? Those thoughts make you feel anxious, insecure, powerless. So what kind of action do you take? You don't. Or worse, you take half measures, play small, or quit early. And the result? You fail. And that failure proves the original belief. See? I'm not good enough. Congratulations. You just lived out a self-fulfilling prophecy. Modern-day Groundhog Day. It's like waking up in your own personal Groundhog Day. Same struggle, different year. It's not that your dreams are wrong, it's that your programming is outdated. And here's the wild part. You might be changing your actions, but not your beliefs. That's like changing the wallpaper in a burning house. The real problem. Most people think the problem is, they need a better strategy. They need to be more productive. They need to stop procrastinating. But the real problem isn't your behavior. It's the belief that's driving the behavior. Trying to change your results without changing your beliefs is like repainting a car with no engine. So what's the fix? We go straight to the source code. Chapter 4. The brain is a goal-achieving machine. Here's something that might blow your mind. Your brain is a biological goal-achieving machine. It doesn't just sit in your skull processing data. It's constantly seeking to create external proof of your internal beliefs. That means if you believe, life is hard, your brain will literally look for situations that confirm it. And if you believe, opportunities are everywhere, your brain will start noticing doors that were always there, but invisible. This is called the psycho-cybernetic loop. Yes, it sounds like a sci-fi villain, and yes, it is kind of evil. It means your brain recycles past experiences to interpret the present and predict the future. For example, David Byer tells a story about a dog. When he was little, he was bitten by a dog. So years later, every time he sees a dog, he flinches, even if the dog is friendly. Why? Because his brain isn't seeing this dog. It's seeing that memory. The belief, dogs are dangerous, hijacks the nervous system. The result? Fear. Now replace dog with money, love, failure, success. Your brain is firing based on memory, not reality. The revelation that changes everything. So if your brain is wired by beliefs, and your beliefs were mostly formed before you were 7 years old, then here's the million-dollar question. Are you living your life, or just reliving your past? That realization alone changes people, but we're not stopping there. Now, I'm going to show you the exact process Byer uses to reprogram your belief system. It's called the Decision Matrix. Chapter 5. The Decision Matrix, the Reprogramming Tool. This is the method David Byer used to heal anxiety, overcome addiction, and build a global coaching business. And it starts with one radical truth. Beliefs are just decisions. They're not laws. They're not written in stone. They're just choices you made once, usually unconsciously. And if you made the decision, you can unmake it. Here's how the decision matrix works. Step 1. Identify the limiting belief. This usually shows up as anxiety, fear, frustration, or stuckness. Examples. I'm not capable. Money is scarce. I'll never change. Step 2. Make a new decision. The opposite belief, framed powerfully, I am fully capable. Money flows easily. I change quickly and permanently. Step 3. Find evidence. Now scan your life for real, honest evidence this new belief is true. Yes, it's there. Maybe it's hidden, but once you start looking, it's impossible to unsee. Neuroscience. Bonus. This isn't just psychology, it's biology. When you find evidence of a new belief, your brain begins neural pruning. It weakens old pathways and grows new ones. And guess what? That's how permanent change happens. Not with affirmations, not with wishful thinking, but with proof. So far, we've exposed the loop. We've seen the brain's belief system, and we've learned the method to change the software. But what does life look like on the other side? What happens when you no longer operate from fear, but from power? When your nervous system isn't fighting reality, but creating it? Chapter 6. The Two States of Being. Let's simplify everything. David Bayer says you only ever exist in one of two states: primal state, fear, stress, doubt, overwhelm; powerful state, clarity, courage, peace, creation. You are never in both at the same time. Your nervous system is either reacting to life in survival mode or creating life from alignment. And here's the key: the quality of your life depends on how much time you spend in the powerful state. Quick check-in. Let me ask you something. Right now, this very second, are you in a primal state or powerful state? Are you tensed up, overthinking, scrolling aimlessly, or open, focused, breathing deep, calm? That's not just a mood. That's the lens through which you experience life. Your energy attracts your experience. Your state determines your fate. Chapter 7. The Mind Hack Method. So how do we get into the powerful state consistently? Bayer introduces the Mind Hack Method, a 6-step formula used by high-performing leaders, creators, and entrepreneurs to stay aligned, energized, and effective. Here it is. Step 1. Decisions. Everything starts with a decision. Clarity doesn't come first. Decision does. Instead of waiting for signs, signals, and certainty, decide. When you decide with conviction, the mind stops spinning. Energy is released. Forward motion begins. Step 2. Gratitude. Gratitude is the ultimate state changer. Why? Because fear and gratitude can't coexist. When you're grateful, your nervous system shifts from survival mode to creation mode. Instead of obsessing over what's missing, be deeply, emotionally thankful for what already is. It tunes your frequency to abundance and attracts more of it. Step 3. Clarity. From gratitude comes vision. You now have the energy to imagine, clearly, your desired future. Not as a fantasy, but as an emotional blueprint. Bayer suggests visualizing your goals from the end, as if they're already done. Not, how will I get there? But how will I feel once I'm already there? Step 4. Empowering questions. Instead of saying, why can't I figure this out? Ask yourself, what's one bold step I can take right now? What would I do if I already believed I was unstoppable? Your brain is a search engine. Ask better questions, get better answers. Step 5. Faith. This one's huge. Faith isn't about religion. It's about trusting the system. Believe that things are working out, even when they don't look like they are. Because life isn't punishing you. It's guiding you toward alignment. This is where manifestation becomes real. Not magical thinking, but mental alignment with intelligent design. Step 6. Aligned action. Finally, take action. But not rushed, anxious action. Take aligned, intentional action from a high-energy state. Because when your belief, feeling, and behavior match, results become inevitable. For example, David Bayer says he was once crippled by anxiety, depression, and addiction. One day, instead of saying, "What's wrong with me?" he asked, "What if I'm not broken? What if I just need to think differently?" From that moment, everything shifted. Not because his circumstances changed, but because he did. That's the power of this work. It doesn't require you to fix your life first. It requires you to change how you interpret it. Chapter 8. Transformation through Truth. Let's go deeper. All suffering comes from one thing: entertaining thoughts that are not true. Let that land. You're not anxious because of what's happening. You're anxious because you believe a thought that says, "I can't handle this. This is bad. This will never work." And guess what? Those thoughts are not true. When you see that, suffering dissolves. The truth you're waiting for. So here's the question you've been waiting for. How do I permanently change my beliefs and enter the powerful state more often? The answer lies in the practice. In last 3 chapters, we'll walk through the daily tools to rewire your mind, how to move up the levels of consciousness, and what it means to become a phenomenon, the highest version of you. It's not a motivational speech, it's a manual for mental mastery. Stick around, we're just getting started. Last 3. Chapter the final segment, where we cover the implementation, day-to-day mindset rewiring, and the real-life transformation model from A Changed Mind. You've discovered how your beliefs shape your reality. You've seen the science behind permanent change, but now, the question is this: how do you live this way every single day? How do you make this shift stick? This final act is about implementation. This is where transformation becomes a lifestyle. Let's finish what we started and unleash the phenomenon within you. Chapter 9. The Practice of Transformation. Transformation isn't an event. It's a daily practice of remembering what's true. David Bayer calls this the process of re-remembering, reconnecting over and over again to who you really are and what's really true. 1. Notice the primal state. Catch yourself in a moment of fear, judgment, anxiety, comparison. Resistance. That's your signal. You're in the primal state. This isn't failure, it's feedback too. Identify the thought. Every emotional state is driven by a thought. Ask, what must I be believing to feel this way right now? You'll usually uncover something like, I'm not good enough. This won't work. I'm falling behind. 3. See the untruth. Now pause and ask, is that actually true? More often than not, it's completely false. When you see it clearly, the thought dissolves, and you shift into the powerful state. Chapter 10. The Levels of Consciousness. Bayer describes 4 stages you move through as you integrate this work. 1. Asleep, you're fully identified with your thoughts. Life feels chaotic. You think external things cause your suffering. 2. Awareness. You begin to observe your patterns. You notice fear isn't truth, but you still get caught in old loops. 3. Awake. You actively challenge beliefs. You shift between states deliberately. You begin co-creating reality with intention. Phenomenon. You operate from joy, intuition, faith. You create powerfully, you magnetize experiences and impact others effortlessly. This is where the magic happens. And no, you don't have to be perfect to get there. You just have to be willing to practice. For example, here's one of Bayer's most radical truths. Nothing ever goes wrong. Everything, yes, everything, is part of your evolution. Even setbacks, even heartbreak, even loss. Why? Because reality is not random. It's intelligent. There's a system, a higher order, responding to your vibration and beliefs. It's not punishing you, it's teaching you. That rejection, a redirection. That failure, a refinement. That delay, a divine setup. The universe is not cruel. It's calculated love. Chapter 11. Co-creating your life. Once you understand the system, you stop reacting and start co-creating. When you live from the powerful state, ideas flow to you. People respond differently. Doors open that were invisible before you stop chasing and start attracting. And it's not magic. It's math. It's physics. It's vibration. Your inner state becomes the tuning fork for your outer world. Here's a quick toolkit you can use daily to rewire your mind. Morning Power Practice. Wake up. Write down any limiting thoughts. Challenge them. Is this actually true? Declare your new belief. List 3 pieces of evidence to support it. Take 1 aligned action from the powerful state nervous system. Reset when overwhelmed. Pause. Close your eyes. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Ask, what's the truth I'm forgetting? Evening reflection. What state was I in today? Primal or powerful? When did I slip into old patterns? What new belief can I reinforce tomorrow? Chapter 12. Final Call to Transformation. Let me tell you something you already know, but might have forgotten. You were born powerful. You were born aligned. You were born enough. You've just been programmed to forget. But now, you remember. Now, you're awake. And now, you have the tools. So don't let this just be a video you watched. Let this be the day your mind changed forever. If you felt something shift today, if this message lit a fire in you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to WiseReads Hub, where wisdom becomes wealth and mindset becomes freedom. Drop a comment below. I choose a powerful state, and hit that bell, because every week we're diving deep into books that change lives, starting with yours. This is WiseReads Hub, you're not just watching, you're transforming. See you in the next one.